The Cougars about to kick it away and get this season started. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. He was looking for more running room, but none to be found as he stopped at the 23. So Washington's offense will get the first crack at it here. These rivalry games can really get the blood pumping, and we'll see who can manage their emotions best early.
Everyone's been waiting for this game, right? You know, both of these teams have had this game circled all the way back to the beginning of the offseason, so you got to be able to play under control.
With passion, with energy, with hatred, because it's a rivalry game, but keep your emotions in check and making sure I'm controlling what I can control.
Washington wants to go quickly. On the option. He has the first and still on his feet. And after a nice gain, the runner just scoots out of bounds. It's 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line. Give to the back. Turns it on in midfield. He got loose, almost housed it, finally dragged down at the 32. And the Huskies with the 1st and 10.
Defense is going to have their hands full trying to stop this guy. They better rally to the football and get multiple hats because he is not easy to bring down.
To the ground, he's got it again. The biggest lie college football coaches tell is nameless, faceless opponent. David, game like this, you know their name and you know their face.
You know them well, and it does mean just a little bit more because it's bragging rights. Like, the rivalries matter so much. All throughout the year, all the fans talking about this game in particular, that's why it means more, and that's why these players will be jacked out of their minds.
Receivers telling the quarterback what they see. On 3rd down, he'll try to pick it up through the air. And he was hit just as he was releasing the pass, and it falls to the ground incomplete.
Nice job by the defense. They're mixing up their look. They're 3rd and long in field goal range. They go zone coverage, so everybody on the back end has the eye on the quarterback, and they're able to break on the ball, force the incompletion.
On 4th down, he'll try to toss it. Gets away from 1. Buys a little extra time. And he's sacked. A big play on 4th down to stop this drive. So Washington State's offense will try to get something started with their first possession. You know, yards figure to be hard to come by through the air, but some quarterbacks, Jesse, just love to go at the star corner.
Yeah, and this guy's got confidence. He's not afraid to go at anybody, but he better be careful because this cornerback is one of the best in the nation.
One of the best, no doubt. I think they will trust him on defense to make plays. So you got to make a decision. Is my guy good enough to beat him on the outside? I am fascinated by this matchup.
He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 3. They line up, and it is a long way to the sticks from here. On 3rd and long, try to convert through the air. Got it in the middle, it's Stroud. And they stop him just short of the stick. It'll bring up a decision on 4th down. Washington State sends the punt team onto the field. First punt of the day, and he'd love to lock them up close to their goal line. Punt goes out of bounds, and a really nice job as they stick them deep in their own end. They'll mark it around the 10. The Huskies have it back, trying to make this defense bow down to Washington. There have been a couple of missed opportunities for these offenses in the last couple of drives, Jesse.
And I think for this offense here, it'd be nice to hit an explosive play, be aggressive, and really pay off your defense's effort that last drive.
And instead of having to move the ball down the field consistently and then getting stopped on 4th downs, you're right. Create some of those explosives. Take those deep shots. Make those big plays.
Fires to the middle. And it'll be incomplete. This defense is physical and pass deep. This defense has kept them backed up. Now one more stop, and they can get off the field on 3rd and long. Caught over the middle. It's Combs. And he's not going to make it. The defense denying him the first down. They were unfazed by that earlier 4th down failure and will try for a second time in this one. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. He's got it, and they convert. Excellent job working through the air there, finding a hole in that defense and picking up a first down. Sometimes we don't give enough credit to a receiver knowing exactly where he needs to be on the field, and they pick up the first down there.
Yeah, and you got to give the receiver credit, obviously knowing where that is, but the defender needs to know where it is too. Where is he trying to get? That ball's going to come out quick. He didn't really understand where the sticks were, and because of that, he gives up the first down. Need to just be a little bit more aware as a defensive guy.
From the gun, the running back tries to hit the hole. And they'll get it to the 39-yard line, and they'll move the chains. The Huskies moving quickly to the line. When the Huskies are moving on the ground like this, you will bow down to Washington.
Yeah, and I tell you what, with all the rain they get out there in Washington, you better have a dependable ground game that you can go to and establish that tempo. Obviously, harder to throw the football in the rain, so dominant, physical trenches.
Takes the handoff. It's Washington. Nice, solid form tackle from this sophomore. They'll come to the line at the 42, facing a 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Pulls it in. It's Combs. And he's able to bounce off one tackle for a solid pickup.
Ooh, and that's a nice sigh of relief for the defense too, right? There was a broken tackle. The guy made it look like he was going to pick up the first, but because of great effort defensively, they were able to get the stop.
Fires a bullet. Now it's picked off. Couldn't find a ton of room on that return, but that small change, they take over at the 43. Looking for a productive play on first down. The give to the running back from the shotgun. Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Defense showing blitz. Will they bail out of it? Scanning the field. It's Mateer. Pressure coming. Makes the grab. Good job running that route to get past the sticks because he got nothing after the catch. He'll come out throwing on first down. Got his man. Makes the grab. Defense right there, and they are set up at the 14. Wazoo headed to the line with another first down. He's going to pass. Looking to the big tight end. Touchdown, Washington State. And they strike first. They can use this first score to sort of set the tone, guys, in this rivalry matchup.
Man, doesn't this feel good to come out, score early, get the crowd involved, get the nerves out of the way, Palmer, when you're playing in a big rivalry game.
Yeah, and I feel like momentum's always a big thing in any game, but in rivalry games, it's that much more important because everybody is going to feed off that first score.
And Washington is ready to go back on the attack. Boy, they hope this next drive is more productive after throwing a pick last time, Jesse.
Yeah, and the coaches did a good job on the sideline there, just talking to the young quarterback and making sure he's able to turn the page, calm him down, to go out and refocus this drive.
Yeah, and some people do that better than others, but you got to show some trust in him, maybe get the ground game going, help around him a little bit with this system.
Here comes the option. He'll toss it. He's got 50 yards for him on the ground now. What a first quarter for this guy.
And a nice job by the running back, finding space, getting downhill, making the good run. Great job finishing with his pads.
They'll try to power their way ahead. It's a game of first downs, and they've got one out to their own 37.
Man, it's nice to have a guy on short yardage situations you can turn and you can hand the ball to him. And you know he's not going to dance. You know he's going to be really physical, lower his shoulder. I don't care how many yards he gets. He just needs to get past that first down mark.
Looking for a man. It's Everett. They're trying to get to it. Fires to the big fella. He stopped at the 48, a pickup of 10 on the play.
Really nice looking pinpoint throw there. And when I think back to Husky QBs, you think about Warren Moon, you think about Mark Brunell, the Heward brothers. What about Jake Browning? All made really good decisions. This guy, he's got a lot of arm talent, but he's also very smart.
I like feeding my guy. I like getting my running back touches, feeding him the ball so he can break some of those big runs. But I'm also okay with these little ones. Set the tone, stay balanced.
And a nice solid pickup there before the defense wrestles him to the ground. And that last run leaves him with a 3rd down. Will they keep it on the ground? They'll try to pick up the first through the air. Caught near the sticks. It's Holmes. Just what they'd hoped for on 3rd down as they've got a first at the 32. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Keeping it on the ground with the single back. You'll take this every time. 5 yards on the first down play.
Man, offenses are getting really creative in the way they run their counter plays now. They pull different guys. They pull a guard. They pull a tackle. They pull a guard and a tackle. So really keeping the defenses off balance. You can't just key on wherever the tight end is. You've got to realize they can show you one thing and come back with another.
As they get set to snap it, just about to reach the end of the quarter. That's the end of the quarter, and Washington State has the lead. We've played one. Before we move on, let's have a look at the stats. The offense wastes no time getting the timeout call. They'll start the drive here with first down to open this period. Leaves it with the running back. Relentless, tough running, gets it down to the 4.
Listen, you got to be able to know what play to call and what hole to go through. Like the line blocks for a certain hole. Good job getting through the hole, getting what was blocked, getting a nice positive gain, making your situation really good on the next down.
And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Husky. Lining up for the PAT. Right down the middle. They took it 71 yards down the field, and they finished it off with the score from the 4. All tied up and just about set to kick it away. Here's the return from inside his 10. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. Here comes the Wazoo offense onto the field again. After standing on the sideline and watching that long touchdown drive, they really need to put something together. And it's intercepted. A turnover for the defense. And he's going to take it all the way. Touchdown, Washington. They'll try to add another to their lead. And the PAT gives them a 14-7 lead. And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
Fellas, it's a final now in one of the more intriguing games of the week, that notable top 25 clash. Pittsburgh proved it is battle-tested and capable of winning any place, any time after this one. And just think of the confidence this Panthers team gained today. Invaluable, if you ask me. A top 25 clash and an impressive showing that could be a huge confidence builder for this program. Back to you.
And Kevin Connors keeping an eye on everything all over the country. Sounds like they had a good one there. Back to pass, it's Mateer. Looking down the middle. Pulls it in. Really good job to pick up a chunk of yardage and get it out to the 39-yard line. Washington State going quickly.
I really like this slot receiver, and I understand he's not the biggest guy in the world, but he just runs really good routes, and he's always under control. He can run option routes. He can run double moves. He does a great job cutting, and he's dangerous after the catch. Nice weapon to have work in the middle of the field.
On second down, he'll fire. And this looks disastrous. Oh, down he goes. A huge loss on that play.
Awesome job by the defense. Not only getting a fast quarterback on the ground, but understanding what he wants to do. He can take off. I got to make sure I got good pursuit angles, and I got to make sure I build rails. I can't let him outside. I got to keep him in the pocket. He tries to get outside. They get the sack and get the huge loss on that play.
Great job rallying to the football by this defense. Third down, QB's trying to extend the play, but great team speed on defense, now setting up fourth.
Kicks it high, and it's just hanging there as if it has helium in it and floating down toward the earth. Little pressure on the coverage team there, and they'll stop him at the 47-yard line. The Huskies have it back, trying to make this defense bow down to Washington. Everybody talks about getting off to a great start, but if you start building steam, David, that can work too.
No doubt, man, and sometimes it snowballs. But what do great teams do? Great teams respond. Struggled the first quarter, Palmer. They've done a great job rebounding and putting some points on the board.
You're right. I think they've started to identify the matchups that are in their favor. On this drive, they need to keep attacking, taking advantage of those matchups.
The play action fake. Grabbed over the middle. It's Holmes. And he's knocked down immediately, but not before he moves the chains.
It's a nice job running the in route there by the receiver. And the best thing he did after he made his break, he didn't trail and fade away. He actually attacked the football. That's a good lesson for young receivers out there watching.
Oh, he's going to try to get it all here. And they took a shot on that one, but couldn't make the connection. It's incomplete.
You hear about shot plays all the time. Offensive coordinators love to take deep shots down the field. They plan them. They plan when they're going to do them. And I bet you we'll plan to see a few more throughout this game.
Gets him on the ground at the 28, but not before a big 10-yard pickup.
Well, this is one of the fastest quarterbacks in college football, and that's why the option's a good idea. Because if he can get out in space and he has a chance to get downfield, he is really difficult to tackle, and he's very difficult to catch, as you saw in that last play, getting a first down.
That gives him 100 yards rushing, and with that run, he's now over 100 yards on this opening day. 9-yard pickup on first down, and now they can take a shot on second and short. From the gun, give on the inside. And he's knocked down, but not before moving the chains.
Those little chunks keep annoying the crud out of you when you're on defense. It's just putting them in easy situations, chewing up 4 to 6 yards at a pop like that. Put you in a bad situation as a defensive coordinator. What do I call? Either way, priority number one, we got to stop the run.
Brought down on play at the 11-yard line.
Second down coming up on this red zone opportunity. Grabbed behind the line. It's Holmes. That completion gets them inside the 10, and the defense is running out of room to defend. Tight quarters deep in the red zone, but they can't pick up a first down without scoring. Third down. And he's sprinting. He'll take it all the way. Touchdown, Huskies.
I think you love starting the year off with some momentum, and that's exactly what this offense is doing. They're firing on all cylinders, defense doing their job as well. This team getting out the gates to start the season in great fashion.
From inside the 10-yard line, he'll bring it back, and the returner will be knocked down. Washington State has it back, and they'll send the offense onto the field. This is when the pressure can ramp up a little bit on an offense, David, when they start feeling the heat to answer a score.
And I think being down 14.
Ball is loose. Defense falls on the ball. Going to be a turnover.
I love those smashes where you can hear it up here, Reese. Goodness gracious, you can hear the contact. Such a big lick. The offensive guy doesn't hold on to the football. Huge momentum swing. Big turnover forced by the defense.
They've got the big fellas out there. A 3 tight end look on 1st and 10. The running back has it. They're there to stop him at the 21 after a pickup of 2.
You know, runs like this oftentimes are like a boxer in a boxing match. Obviously, it's not a knockout punch, but these are body blows. And as the game goes on, these small gains are going to turn into longer runs.
How about the patience from this sophomore to hunt that green grass? Washington hoping to make this defense bow down in the red zone. Able to get a couple on the play. He's down at the 9. It'll be second down, and remember, they can pick up a first without scoring. the play fake. Fires into the end zone. Had it in his hands for the score and let it fall to the turf. It'll be third down.
And perfect timing. Got there right when the ball got there. Didn't get there a little bit early. Saving the touchdown. Nice timing by that defender.
Complete out of the backfield, looking for the sticks.
Right there, I think you need a better play call. You got to help your quarterback out a little bit because the throw has got to at least make it to the sticks. On that last play, you're basically trusting the guy to make a few dudes miss in order to go pick up that first down. I think you need to start being a bit more aggressive here when these third downs present themselves. Well, that's one the kicker would like to have back. That's a kick he should be making in the slot.
Here comes the Wazoo offense onto the field again. They put it on the ground last time. They had it got to take care of it this time, David.
And I think you got to put in context. A lot of times fumbles are just luck. You just got to move on, give him the football again, Jesse, and not working.
I think that's a good point there, David. Get him the ball again to help him play the next play and know that he's okay. Because when that guy's playing well, this offense is on fire.
He's there to make the stop, and they threw it in reverse, losing yardage on that play. Second down here, and maybe they've got time to get one more snap off before the 2-minute warning. We've made our way to the 2-minute warning, and now they'll try to at least cut a little something off of this lead before the break. Quarterback by himself in the backfield. Back to throw, it's Mateer. Unloads to the wideout. A strike downfield. Stopped at the 43 after the 15-yard pickup. He wants to throw. Fires to the wideout. On target to the left. They're ripping off chunks of yardage. They get it to the 33.
I'll tell you what, that's great execution between QB and receiver. They look like they could execute that throw in their sleep. The quarterback took his steps, threw it on time. Great route by the receiver. Nice job securing the catch.
Quickly out to the tight end. And he goes out of bounds after coming up with positive yardage there. We had a barn burner the last time these two teams played, and no reason to expect anything else between these two bitter rivals.
Attention to detail, and I think the sense of urgency, David, in a game like this just goes way up.
And I think managing the emotions in these type of games, you know last year was a classic. Now you're trying to form this year's identity of this team and go out and get a win in a big-time rivalry game.
Well, I know the tight end did some good things after the catch, but got to give the quarterback credit, too, for the location of the throw. Because he put it out in front of his big man, he was able to make the catch and accelerate, creating some distance there between him and the defense.
He caught it! They make the tackle just outside the end zone, but it'll be first and goal from the 1.
And I think you're seeing these guys in every offense now. These littler guys that are so quick, it's hard to get a hand on them. Run crisp routes. You can throw it short, you can throw it long, but they're just big-time playmakers. You've definitely seen an emphasis shift toward...
He snares it in the end zone! Touchdown, Cougar!
And I tell you what, that passing touchdown, man, that should spark this whole team. Like, the comeback is more than on now. Like, they got the touchdown. They cut into the lead. You want to get a stop and go into the half, get all the juices, all the excitement, and be like, listen, the passing game's rolling. We got this. The comeback's in full effect.
On the run from inside his own 5. And the returner is stopped. And Washington is ready to go back on the attack. They've got time, they've got the lead, and David is sort of like a doctor. First, do no harm.
Do no harm, but also momentum is hard to create and sometimes hard to stop. You have it, so just...
And here's a fumble way behind the line. And the defense jumps on it, they get that turnover.
And that is exactly how you draw it up. You get to the quarterback, but you get the football out. You hit him, you try to rake it out. Great job by the defense. Getting the sack, getting the fumble.
First down here for the offense. They'll crank up this drive with the pass. Oh, he had him right down the middle, and it just squirted right through his fingers, and they miss an opportunity for a nice play on first down. Dropping back, it's Mateer. Fires into traffic, it's picked off. Bringing it back. He's inside the 40, the 20, inside the 10. Touchdown, Huskies. And this defense coming up with points of their own. What an interception return. Look, I know it's only the second quarter, but we're starting to see a pretty significant gap develop between these two teams right now.
No doubt. When your defense is scoring, your offense is scoring, good things happening for your ball club. This defense on point, reading their scouting report, making big plays.
From inside the 10, here he comes. Able to find enough room to get it out across the 25. He's brought down at the 26. Just a few seconds remaining here as they try to put something up before halftime. They'll ride the running back and leave it with him. Really nice job to squirt his way up to the 31-yard line. They'll use a timeout right before halftime. Maybe time for one or two more plays. On second down, they'll take to the air. Lofts one high and deep. It's incomplete, and they tried to finish this quarter with a bang and couldn't quite connect. Washington ready to kick off to start this second half. Looking for an alley from inside his own 10. Good job by the coverage unit to stop the return man. Washington State has it back, and they'll send the offense onto the field. Those two first-half turnovers really damaging, and the primary reason they find themselves trailing to start the third quarter.
And this is an offense that prides themselves on taking care of the football and then having explosive plays. You know they're playing angry right now. They're mad. They know they're the reason why they're down in this game, so I expect them to come out here, lighten it up here up the first drive of the second half.
Yeah, and this defense playing fast, playing physical, forcing things into action, forcing those turnovers. They played really well in this first half.
And they get to him and knock him down to prevent a big gain. Washington State lines up quickly. They'll try to get it through the air. And this is dropped. Incomplete pass. He had a huge gain in his fingers, and he couldn't hold on. Washington State will have to boot it away. He only needs a sliver of daylight. Tries to find a little more running room on that return, but he'll be stopped at the 36. The Huskies have it back, trying to make this defense bow down to Washington. Last time they had it, they put it on the deck. The football was not riveted to their rib cage, Jesse.
Need 5 points of pressure moving forward, no doubt. And I'll tell you, they knew coming into this game that turnovers were going to be critical. They might give themselves a mulligan for that one, David, but that can't keep happening.
Yeah, but don't change who you are and what you are. Don't get gun-shy because of mistakes. I think that usually turns into more mistakes. So keep doing you, keep being aggressive.
He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple. And the running game has collapsed so far on this drive, and now it's third down. And the incomplete pass will bring up fourth down.
It's so nice when you know it's third and long, and you know a pass is coming. You worked on it all week. Get your feet set at the sticks. Understand that quarterback's got to be rushed. Get him off of his spot. Nice execution by this defense.
Finds him out of the backfield. Not much of a fourth down gamble when it's that much of a sure thing. An easy conversion for this offense.
That's a great example of the receiver knowing exactly where the first down marker is. He got the depth he needed to get, so once he was able to make the catch, he already knew he had it. Now a fresh set of downs.
They're trying to send a message with this running game. He stopped after a pickup of 4 to the 33. After the productive first down play, it's 2nd and 6. A run for the quarterback. Nowhere to run on that one. He loses 4 on the carry. If they can convert here, that type of play can really give you a shot of momentum. To the air, it's Everett. He finds his man. And sure, tackling there to keep him from getting to the first down marker.
Well, this offense knew coming into this game they wanted to try to attack the middle of the field in the passing game, and they're able to execute the in route there.
On fourth down, looking to pass. Finds his man and they convert. And they reacted well to the completion, but it was too late to keep them from getting the first down.
And that's a play the defense has got to be able to make, guys, right there on fourth down. You're in the third quarter, second half. You're playing at home, and it's a close game. You've got a huge opportunity to seize momentum. And you just get the feeling that that momentum is going to be a big factor here in the second half. Someone had to step up and make a play, and they just couldn't get it done.
The give out of the gun. They'll give him maybe one on the play. It's down to the 20.
Yeah, and listen, offensively, you run the RPOs. You just want positive yards, make the right read the guy. If he wants to drop back a little bit, hand it off, get some positive yards, go on to the next play.
Running it in the red zone, imposing their will and picking up 5 down to the 15. This defense just can't get off the field. The offense unstoppable. The sure hands, it's Holmes. Good tackle there to stop him short of the first down. It'll bring up a big decision.
Hey, really nice job on defense, too, understanding the situation. It's third down. We're fine giving up completions right there. We're not giving up the first down. We're keeping the football and the ball carrier in front of us, and we're tackling the catch. Awesome job, and now you've set up fourth down.
Not even a moment of anxiety in that decision. 4th and 1? Yep, we're going.
Well, this isn't even a discussion in the headset. Like, this is automatic, autopilot. Like, 4th and 1, we're going for it every single time.
Knocked down after a gain of 1. They'll mark it at the 6.
It's now 2nd and goal.
Now it's 2nd and goal. He'll run it up the middle, trying to pick his way to the end zone. And he waltzes in for the score. Touchdown, Washington! Now they have extended this lead, guys, starting to put the hammer, but sometimes a rivalry game can give you a little of extra fight back.
And there can be no panic at this point now. You've worked too hard this offseason, David. They've had this game circled for so long. You've got to play your best football right now and fight back.
And you just need something good to happen on this next possession. You got to get the crowd back into this football game. Big rivalry. Get some emotion. Get some momentum on your side.
Here comes the Wazoo offense onto the field again. Trailing by 3 touchdowns. If you're going to get back in it, David, the time to start is right now.
Got to start now. Defense giving up points on that last possession. Again, the offense is going to have to score, and Jesse probably score pretty quickly.
Yeah, you got to go tempo. You're going to have to try to fit in as many plays as you can throughout the rest of this game, but I think more than that.
And it's picked off for the 3rd time today. And they'll close in on him after a good return on the interception.
Tell you what, when you come out of your own end zone, you know, in the shadow of your own end zone, a lot of bad things can happen. You want to kind of get a few first downs, get some space, so if you punt after that point, you can pin them a little bit deep. This is the exact opposite of what happened. Now you set them up in beautiful scoring field position already. Really bad play by the offense.
Going to work on 2nd down in the red zone is still some ground to cover to pick up that first down. Keep it on the ground. Knocked down after a gain of 1. They'll mark it at the 6. The terrain gets rough this deep in the red zone. 3rd down. They can pick up the first without scoring. They'll try to move the chains on the ground. Down to the 3-yard line, and that's where they'll have it 1st and goal.
That is how it's done on 3rd down and short. No doubt about it. An easy hole to get through and clearly get the first down.
If you really want to simplify football, the low man wins. That time the offense got the better of the D. Easily picked that up.
He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. Goes to the option. He'll pitch it. He's got it down to the 1-yard line right on the doorstep of Pater.
But when you get down here inside the red zone, you got to be able to run the football. And it's one thing to do it conventionally, but I like the idea of mixing it up and trying to go jet sweep.
They'd love to make this short field pay off with a touchdown instead of settling for 3, but it is touchdown Huskies. And the stomping has commenced. The AT unit on the field. The kick is up and good and put one more on the lead. So that scoring drive took only 6 plays. And they capped it off with a 1-yard plunge. He'll bring it out from inside his own 10. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. Washington State has it back, and they'll send the offense onto the field. After throwing the pick on the last drive, need to take care of the ball this time, Jesse.
We're going to find out a lot about this quarterback right here, too. How does he fight through adversity after that last drive?
Yeah, clear the mechanism, move on. That's a part of it. Right? To be a great player, you got to learn how to handle these mistakes and move on.
They'll put it in play from the 27, first down. Making sure they have good balance, keeping it on the ground. He'll push his way out to the 30, a pickup of 3.
I never know if it's grammatically correct to say a team is being out-physicaled. You hear it a lot in football, though. That's happening in this game. They are just not getting the push they need all game long up front to have any success when they decide to run it.
They knock him down after he picks up 5 out to the 34. It's third down from their own 34 as they try to keep the drive moving. They'll try to pick it up on the ground. Able to work it to the 39-yard line, and that'll be a first down.
And I don't care if I get it by 2, by 20, by 30, by 40. I just want to get the first down, understanding the situation, understanding where the sticks are. Doesn't have to be sexy, but I got to make sure I get to that stick, get to the first down mark.
And he can't escape, and down he goes.
And that's a great job by the defense not letting that bird out of the cage. When you can run like this guy can, you got to keep the edge. Did a great job. He went backwards, retreated, gave up some ground. They didn't give up the outside, got the sack on the play.
Solid fundamentals on that tackle from this freshman.
Brought down at the 28-yard line. Brings up third down.
They've made third down offense a key. It'll be tested on 3rd and long from the 28. Looking downfield, and he needs a bunch. Hit as he throws. That pass is well off target. He got hit as he was trying to throw, and they can't convert on 3rd down. Washington State sends out the punt unit. He's getting a lot of work. 4th time he's punted tonight. He'll call for the fair catch here. Time winding down in the quarter as they come to the line. They'll try the run. And he'll make his way out of bounds after the solid pickup. That's the end of the quarter, and Washington has the lead. Well, guys, so far, this has been a massive beatdown, and it would appear the biggest challenge is what kind of records can they set as we have a look at the 3rd quarter stats. 2nd down here as they go back to work after the break. Going to the ground. Just buried it. He's got enough, and it'll be a first down for Washington.
This is a guy that can find you the hidden yardage. That play, he just pushes the pile to get that first down.
Now they've got it at the 44 on 1st and 10. And he's able to shed 1 tackle and pick up pretty good yardage.
In situations like this, offensively, when you've got the lead in the 4th quarter, when you got to run the ball, you go back to the runs that you have the most confidence in, that you can execute in your sleep, and they do it right there, ripping off 7 yards.
Leaves it with the back. They finally make the stop, but the big run is plenty to move those sticks for the first down.
Man, this is a punch to the gut. When you know you're losing, and you know you got to get a stop, and you know they're going to run the football, and they still run the football down your throat. It's been that kind of day for this defense.
They stop him right on the edge of the red zone, a pickup of 5 to the 20. Halfway there on first down, it's 2nd and 5. They'll give it to the back. They pull him down at the 17 after a pickup of 3. And now on 3rd down after that last run. To the ground to try to move the chains. And he needed 1 yard, and he didn't get it. The defense won the battle up front.
How about the defender being a heat-seeking missile? He was on radar lock. He found the football and flew down with some bad intentions.
And the 4th down pass falls incomplete, and they'll have to give up the football. Here comes the Wazoo offense onto the field again. They'll get this drive going from the 17. They're going to throw it to start the drive. And he was drilled just as he released the pass. It's incomplete. After the quarterback and receiver failed to hook up, they'll try it again on 2nd down. Looking downfield, it's Mateer. He looks that one in nicely.
Well, here's the problem offensively. Because you're trailing by so much so late in the game, the defense now is going to be playing big zone coverages, and they're going to allow you to throw the ball underneath in the middle of the field, rally to make a tackle, and bleed the clock. It's going to be hard now for this offense to claw their way back in this one.
Couldn't find a man and just had to throw it away to avoid a negative play. Down by multiple possessions, they can't come up empty on this drive in the 4th quarter. They'll go for it on 4th down. He's got a 1st down and maybe a lot more. Good job running that route to get past the sticks because he got nothing after the catch. Finally, some signs of life from this offense, which has done nothing in the 2nd half. It's 1st and 10. He's going to let it go. Oh, and he gets downfield for the big catch. Touchdown, Cougars. And they add 6 more to the board with that trip to the house.
Nice pitch, nice catch. And listen, maybe this helps next game, right? Like, we're trying to find a rhythm, find something that works, find somebody to go to. And this offense is struggling. You're down by 1,000, but I like that they continue to fight.
And he knocks the extra point through the upright. We check in with Kevin Connors. What's going on, Kevin?
2 very different emotions inside the locker rooms of these teams who did battle today. Texas Tech was all gas and no brakes in one of the more convincing wins we'll see this week. The type of performance Graham Harrell and Michael Crabtree used to deliver in that memorable 11-win season of 2008. It's one game. You don't want to react too much either way. But I think both teams will leave this one with some things to work on moving forward.
Yeah, how about that? Sounds as if they had a good ball game there. Kevin, thanks for the update.
Here's the deal. You're down 3 possessions. You know, it doesn't feel likely they're going to come back and win, but we've seen crazier stuff happen in college football. It all starts with a big completion on a 2-minute drive. They'll get the momentum start.
Gets away from one. Finds some space. And he takes it all the way. They couldn't stop him. Touchdown, Washington State.
Yeah, I am a great play caller when I can hand it to guys like that. And he can go that far to the house, create big plays, showed you a little bit of vision, showed you a little bit of burners. When he kicked it in gear, he got the long touchdown.
From inside his own 10, he'll try to help out their field position. And the coverage team able to wrestle him down. And Washington is ready to go back on the attack. What a turn that last drive was. Didn't pick up the 4th down, and it led to the scoring drive, David.
And those are frustrating because you think you might get points and then your defense gives up points. This has got to be a complimentary football type deal. The offense now needs to provide a little spark and give this defense some hope.
No doubt, David. They got to turn the page, and they've got to play with a little bit more urgency here, knowing they've got to get that one back and put a good drive together.
And just a great job on the defense being stout. Right? That's your job. Be stout up front, stuff in the run play, make them get in more passing situations, but do not let them run the football. That's 101. Stop the run first.
That's the kind of play that can really get you going as they have a 1st down at the 43.
Yeah, it's make or break time for this defense now. They got to get a stop, and if that's bringing more bodies in, bringing more beef in, they're running the football right up the gut, right at you. They're not going to throw the football in this situation. Time to be more physical and get this big stop.
We've reached the 2-minute warning, and this offense will be quite content just to drain the rest of the time away. Defense trying to keep this offense from getting a line on who to block. You got to believe they just want to run it, take care of the football, and keep that clock moving on 2nd and 9. The give as they work on that clock. Continuing to turn and move it forward, and they're closing in on midfield. It's down at the 48. Quick timeout called by the defense, stopping the clock to save as much time as possible for their offense. This is a big 3rd down. If they can move the chains, they can just about salt this game away. They finally get him on the ground, but the big running play moves the change for the 1st down. He's now up to 104 yards on the ground, and that will put him over 100, and what a way to start the season. Washington coming to the line with another 1st down. They'll go to the ground. The ball pops out. Once that ball was loose, offense didn't have a chance. Defenders. It's a turnover. Now we'll hang on here. The coach is calling a timeout. He wants the officials to take another look. Thinks he's got a good shot at getting this one overturned. And how about the keen eyes and sharp awareness from the coach to challenge that call, and the officials agree it'll go his way. And he's able to shed one tackle and gets a pretty good pickup. Timeout called there by the defense, desperate to get the ball back and save as much time as possible. On 3rd and short, they keep it on the ground here. They'll mark him down right there, and that'll be enough for a Washington 1st down. This drive has been exclusively on the ground. Could they be setting up a shot play? The rankings, the